Jake here for American Trucks, and today I'm taking a look at the MBRP 2.5-inch Black Series rear exit dual exhaust system for 2009 to 2018 5.7-liter Ram 1500s with the factory dual exhaust. If an aggressive look and a great exhaust note are on your short list of wants for your next exhaust, then this system is going to check those boxes for you. With a unique finish, great sound, and a reasonable price, this one is sure to appeal to the Ram 1500 owner who's looking for a great upgrade to their daily driven truck. Now, I have to admit, I'm a fan of MBRP's offerings. I have one of their exhausts on my admittedly much older truck that is not a Ram. It's been on there for a few years and I really love it. But MBRP stepped it up with this system. This is a 2.5-inch bolt-in catback system. It's going to offer a mellow sound that is still a noticeable change versus your stock exhaust. That said, this one is going to come in at a 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter. And as you heard in the clips at the beginning of the video, it gives you that signature rumbly V8 noise outside of the truck, but it's not quite enough to rattle windows. So if you're looking for an exhaust that's not going to get the HOA called on you, you're in luck here. Now this is what MBRP classifies as their street system, so it's not quite as loud as some of their other offerings, or even compared to other manufacturers' offerings. Now you do get some more noise in the cabin, of course, but it isn't a ton of it, so carrying on conversations with your passengers or enjoying music is easy, and it's not negatively affected by installing this. In fact, I would wager a guess and say that you're going to enjoy driving your truck more once you've got this installed. And of course, what makes it sound good and keeps things under wraps is this high-flow muffler here. As you can see, we've got some nice baffling going on in there, so it's going to keep things pretty subdued, but you're still going to get that noise that you're looking for. Not a ton of weird resonance here. As you can hear me knocking on it, it doesn't vibrate too much, so that means you're not going to get a ton of drone either. But the other big thing to note here is this finish. Now, the whole system is made from mandrel bent aluminized steel. It's 3 inches going into the muffler, 2.5 inches from the muffler back. So that all on its own is going to provide you excellent exhaust flow with that mandrel bending because there's no weird creases or bends in the pipes. And the material itself is going to provide some protection against corrosion and rust, though it won't necessarily be as much as a system made fully from T304 stainless. However, everything from the muffler back is also finished in this really cool black powder coat. Whereas most companies will just do a finish like this on the exhaust tip, MBRP did a lot more than that. So everything from the muffler onto the exhaust tips is coated like this. I think it's a really nice finish, feels good, not that you're going to be touching it once it's on the truck, and it's going to lend itself to a subtle look, especially if your truck is a darker color. Plus, it also adds some extra protection. So you're going to get some more corrosion and rust resistance on these parts of the system as well, without paying the price of a T304 stainless system. It's a really cool, unique touch, and I think it adds that little extra something that you might be looking for. Of course, you also finish it off with these 4-inch black-coated T304 stainless tips. Now these are dual wall slash cut tips and they have the MBRP logo stamped on the sides here. I think these are a really nice way to finish everything off, and I like the fact that it matches these other pipes. Now pricing here is going to come in around $825, which puts this one squarely in the middle of the category for exhaust when it comes to this generation of Ram. But the big thing here again is that you're getting that additional protection, getting really good exhaust flow, and a nice sound that's going to be a perfect subtle update for a daily driven truck. So if you're looking for something that's not going to blow your eardrums out while you're driving around and have that unique look, this is a great system for you. Installation will come in at a 2 out of 3 on the difficulty meter, and it should take you about 2 hours to complete. Nothing too complicated here, just your usual exhaust fare. This again is a totally bolt-in system, and it comes with everything you need to get it done, including all new clamps. It's also going to utilize all your factory mounting points, so there's no modifications needed to your truck. And with that, let's head over to the install bay and we'll show you the process.
Tools used for this installation: 3/8 electric impact gun, pry bar, exhaust hanger removal tool, a hammer, a 3/8 extension, 8mm Allen head socket, 16 and 15mm sockets, 3/8 ratchet, and 3/8 electric ratchet. Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to install our dual exhaust kit here on our 2014 Ram, but first we're going to watch a quick uninstall video of how to remove the mufflers and tailpipes, and then we'll jump right into it with me uninstalling the mid pipe and then go into the installation.
We have to remove our factory system. That includes pulling both tailpipes on either side of the truck as well as the factory muffler. We're going to unbolt the tailpipes from the muffler first using a 15mm socket. That's going to allow us to pull the tailpipes off of the rubber isolators. All right, now that we have those two tailpipe clamps loosened on the muffler, we're going to go ahead and pull the tailpipes from the isolators. Once the tailpipes are pulled from the rubber isolators, that's going to give us enough leverage that we can kind of wriggle them out from the muffler itself, and then we can actually pull our muffler. All right, now that we have our driver's side tailpipe removed, we're going to do the same thing for the passenger side. The passenger side only has one hanger up here, makes it a little bit easier on us. All right, next we have to loosen the clamps securing our muffler to our flow tube here. That's also going to be a 15mm socket. With the clamp holding our muffler loosened, we're going to spray down our last two rubber isolators, and then we're going to pull the muffler from our mid-pipe. Now, if any of those rubber isolators are giving you a hard time, you can actually knock the muffler loose from the clamp that you loosened using a dead blow mallet. That'll give you enough leverage to pull it out of the rubber isolator.
So now that we watched our quick uninstall video of how to remove our muffler and tailpipe assembly, I'm going to show you how to remove this pipe here that comes off our cat pipe here. We're going to remove this because this kit has a new one we're going to put on. So I'm going to show you how to take that off. First thing we're going to do is remove this rubber grommet right here. I'm going to take my pry bar, get up in here, wedge it, and just pop it off. Just move it out of the way. Same on this hanger back here. Take my pry bar, get it up in here, and just push this hanger off here. Move it out of the way. Now we're going to loosen up our 15mm up top here to remove this pipe. So now we got a clamp right here that we're going to remove. I'm going to take my 15mm, my ratchet, and get up in here. It's a pretty tight area, so I won't be able to get a gun. You don't have to take the nut all the way off. I'm just going to back it off some. Then that'll give us access to wiggle our pipe and remove it. So now we have that loose. We're out of our rubber grommets here. I'm just going to pull down a little bit to get the pipe loose. It might take a little bit of pulling to get this off, but it will come off. And if you're having trouble getting it off, kind of like I am, you can try to turn it, pull down on it, just to make it want to come off like that. So first thing we're going to do for our install is we're going to install this front pipe here. You already see I have my clamp in place. I'm going to take this, slide it on. You'll feel it stop. I'm going to spin it a little bit so we can get to that nut on the clamp. Now I'm going to start tightening that up and just give it a snug. Next, I'm going to take my 15mm on my ratchet here. And like I said, it might have to spin it a little bit just to get to it. And I'm going to get it right there and just get it so it's snug a little bit in place. So next we're going to take our secondary pipe here. I'm going to slide this in until it stops like that. And what we're going to do is take our clamp and bracket here that we have. Now to get this to work, what you're going to do is just slide it in like that and get it locked in. The big hole slides over. This kind of sits just like that if you can see it. And that's how this hanger works. Now, we're gonna put this hanger on. I'm gonna take it like this. Slide it over the pipe. Get it over this pipe. Put it in our grommet here. Slide it in far enough. And we're just gonna hold it up in place like that. And then I'm gonna snug this nut up here to keep this up and get this in place. So now I'm gonna take my 15 millimeter, my 3/8 gun. I'm going to hold this pipe up in place and lift it up like that. Snug this one up. And I got it snug. And the next one will hold the back end of it up. So next we're gonna slide the next one on. You're gonna install that bracket just the way we showed earlier. You take this, slide this in place, push it through your grommet. And then we'll snug that bolt up too to hold the back end of the pipe up. Now I'm gonna take my 15 millimeter and my 3/8 gun, tighten this one up. And that'll get our pipe in place here so we can install our muffler. So before we install our secondary pipe here, what we're gonna have to do is make a cut on it. And now the manufacturer is gonna ask you for the wheelbase of this vehicle or your vehicle. And when you do that, you're gonna be able to look into the directions and they're gonna give you a length that you're gonna cut this pipe. Now in our vehicle here, we're at 140-inch wheelbase. They're telling us that this pipe has to be 23 inches. So we're gonna make a mark on this pipe at 23 inches. Cut it there, take it over to our chop saw, cut it there, and then install it. So I'm gonna take my tape measure, come from this end here where the flange is. I'm gonna sit it on here, and hopefully it don't move. And I'm going to take my marker at 23 inches, which is right there. I'm gonna scribe a line on the pipe, just like that. Now we'll take it over to our chop saw and we'll make our cut. So now we have our pipe on our chop saw here. We're gonna make our cut. I have it tight, secured. I'm gonna make my cut with my chop saw at 23 inches, cut this pipe, and then we're going to clean it up and then put it on our vehicle. Now if you're gonna make your cut, just make sure you wear safety glasses, make sure it's secure, and I'm gonna make my cut. So now I'm gonna clean up the excess burr around the edge with my grinder here. So now we're going to install our muffler. I put my bracket with our hanger on that I showed you how to put on earlier. And we're going to slide this in place and then tighten it up. So now I'm going to take my 15 millimeter on my 3/8 gun. I'm just going to snug this up because we're going to want to be able to move our muffler around once we get our tailpipes on. So I'm just going to make it snug a little bit, just like that. And that'll hold it kind of in place until we get our tailpipes on, and then we can adjust everything and then tighten everything up. So I'm just gonna install our clamps here onto our muffler pipes here where our tailpipes are gonna go in, and just get them on before we install our tailpipes. I'm just going to get them on like that. That way when we get our tailpipes slid in, we don't forget to put those on. So next what I'm going to do is slide in our tailpipe on our passenger side here. I'm going to start it up into our rubber grommet up top, lift up on the muffler, slide it into our pipe, make sure it clears everything, and we'll get that one started. Next I'm going to stick the driver's side in. Pretty much the same way. I'm going to get it started in our rubber grommet up top and then slide it into our muffler like that. And I'm going to leave it kind of loose for now until we get the rest of our tailpipes in place so we know everything lines up and fits. Now I'm going to install our passenger side tailpipe. I'm going to slide it in the rubber grommet first. Get that started. Pretty much like that. And I got my clamp on here already. So we're going to take my 15 millimeter on my 3/8 gun, and I'm just going to snug this up so it don't move. like that. Now we'll install the driver's side. So now we're going to install our driver's side one. I already have my clamp in place. Again, we're going to slide it through the rubber bracket first, and then get this pipe started back here. Once we get it pushed up where we want it, again, we'll take our clamp. So now I'm going to take my gun and my 15 millimeter. I'm going to get up in here and snug this clamp up. I'm just going to get it snug, that way nothing moves around when we're putting our tips on. Now I'm going to stick our tips on. Take this one here. Get it in place where we want it. I'm going to take my 3/8 gun with an 8 millimeter Allen head and tighten this up. Now you're going to want to just repeat that same procedure on the opposite side. Take my 15 millimeter on my electric gun, and I'm going to tighten our tailpipes up. This one here, and this one over here. Now we'll go under and tighten our exhaust pipes up off of our muffler. Then I'm going to tighten these two clamps up here with my 15 millimeter and my gun again. Now we already did tighten the front up, so the front's tight, and that'll wrap up this installation. That wraps up this review and install of our MBRP 2.5-inch Black Series dual exhaust system, rear exit for 09 to 18 5.7 liter Ram 1500s with factory dual exhaust. Thanks for watching, and for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.